Alright, so here's just an update on the Z. The Z has been parked for about almost 4 years now. It was running a little bit in Minnesota after the accident, but then it just stalled and just never started up again. Tried several things, couldn't get it to work. So then when it was time to move from Minnesota, it started just long enough to get it on the trailer. Well, we brought it down to Memphis and I was going to take it to a shop, and on the way to the shop it died. So it hasn't started up since. It's a bum battery, so it doesn't have enough charge really to turn it over for too long. But I think there's something electrical happening. We'll just do a quick look around. So after the back got pushed in, you know, you got all these loose wires everywhere, but none of them seem to be pinched or stripped or whatever. And of course I had the subwoofer back here, but all of this is loose ground wire, but everything else is loose, covered up, the important things anyway. So the trick is now trying to figure out why. I put a solar panel over there to charge the battery. Otherwise it just sits there. I don't run an extension cord out here, and it seems to be working okay, but when I get down to the cigarette lighter, I'm not actually getting a voltage from the battery. Now that battery does go really low, almost dead, so I think I was getting like maybe 6 volts. I don't know, I forget what it was, but anyway, I'm going to try to figure out why that is not putting out the juice, because if I plug that into there and then go check the battery, I don't get the voltage from the cell. I get like 6 volts. So maybe there's something weird going on here. I don't know. That's the trick, is just trying to figure this all out. So I'm going to go over there, check the fuses, and hopefully we'll be able to figure out why this thing won't start. Alright, so I went to go look at the fuse for the cigarette lighter, and let's see if you can see it here. Yeah, you see that little bare piece of wire there? Can't really tell if it's blown or not, but I tried to pull the fuse out and that happened. So alright, let's see if we can pull that out and replace it. Alright, so you can see here, it looks like it didn't blow. It was just in pieces. Alright, let's replace it and see what happens. So I can't find my other fuses, but I have a 15 amp fuse right here that I'll use. It's supposed to be a 20 amp, but we're only going to be charging the battery and actually drawing anything from the cigarette lighter, so hopefully that will be okay. Alright, so we'll just do a check. We'll see how much voltage we're getting. It's I think what, almost 3-4 o'clock, and we'll see what kind of power we're getting from the charger that comes from the solar panel. Here we're getting 17 volts, 17.05, and if we check the cigarette lighter, we're getting, wow, nothing, 0.01, 0.02 volts. So we're going to plug this in and see if we're actually getting any power to the battery. So I had to disconnect the battery leads and then test it directly, and I'm only getting 0.39 volts. So maybe there's something I'm missing here, but I would have expected at least 12 volts coming to the battery, not 0.39 volts. So something between here and the solar panel, which is just sitting right there, is not jiving. Maybe there's a ground or something somewhere. But as far as I know, everything is just the way it was right after the accident, which it still ran. The only thing I had to deal with was this fuel line rotted out and shot fuel all over the inside of the car, but replaced that. It turns over. I mean, when the battery has plenty of juice, it'll want to kick over. but it just won't start. So I'm going to keep looking to see if it's something electrical. But my next theory is around this mileage, 150,000 plus miles, Z32s are known to have issues with their power transistor unit, and those are the ones that drive the ignition coils. So if that thing goes bad, it doesn't get a spark. But I'm thinking that might be part of what's happening over here with my power. So, well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to let it sit and see if it'll charge that battery anymore, and then come check the voltage again and see what we get. So I had an interesting thought. I was wondering how much the solar panel would be affected if I covered it up. So I put my gloves over the panel and the voltage only dropped a little bit. So then I thought, okay, what would happen if I just turned the panel completely upside down? Pretty much no sunlight. Here, face it straight down. So no sunlight coming in. You'll notice the voltage did drop a little bit, but I'm still getting 0.3 volts. And what would happen if we unplugged this guy? You can see I'm not touching any of the terminals, but I'm still reading the voltage. I don't have a cap in here for the sub. Where am I getting that from? Well, we'll have to think about that.